Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of How I Do What I Do. This one is on Let's Plays. I'm going to be showing you the entire process that I do to create a Let's Play or playthrough video from start to end in excruciating detail. Disclaimer at the start, this is just how I do everything. I'm sure I'll have lots of good advice for you and lots of things that you could learn by watching this. Just know that not everything is going to be the most beginner-friendly thing in the world. I've been doing this for like 5 or 6 years now. So this is just my process. I'll try and make it short if I can. First, I'm going to be recording with DxStory here. The program, you can buy it online right now for insert however much money on screen now. You can use OBS, which is free. That's actually how I'm recording this part of the video right now. And I do recommend OBS, but I've got the hard drive space, so I'm going to use DxStory for this. Not many of these settings matter, so we're just going to go over the ones that matter real quick for the sake of this video. Overlay settings is just for when you're personally recording it, how things display. That doesn't show up on the footage. This is where it's going to save to. I'm saving it to my 4th hard drive? Yeah, my 4th hard drive, right. Here we have the hotkey settings here. This is where you set up your hotkeys for each thing. I just put start and stop movie capture to print screen, because no matter what given game you're playing, usually nothing is keyed by default to print screen. It's a safe one to click. This is an important one. So this is your actual recording quality. Your codec matters a ton here. This codec right here, if you have DxStory or you're buying DxStory, you're probably going to want to Google that codec because it does not come with DxStory. It's completely free. You just download it. It's a few megabytes. And it is a wonderful codec that is going to get you very large file sizes, but very good quality without it quite being lossless. These are the settings. They're all default for me in here. Frame rate, it's defaulted at 30. I like to do 60. Include a mouse cursor by default is turned off. I like it turned on because most games I play a lot of strategy games and RPGs and stuff, so the cursor, you kind of want that on screen. And the last tab that we actually need to go into for the sake of this is our audio settings tab. You can hit the plus and minus here to make as many audio streams as you want, up to 8, which I don't know why you'd ever need that. But because it makes it way easier to edit, I make 2. The first audio stream I have be my speakers, which for me, this is my sound card. And my second one is my microphone. For me, that is my Steinberg. It's my... Normally you put your microphone here. For me, I'm putting my audio interface there because I run a microphone through my audio interface. But if you're just using a USB microphone, this is where you'd select your microphone. You have audio formats down here. If you know what your quality is, pick it. If you don't, default is probably fine for you. So that's it for DxStory for right now. I'm going to go record a video. I'm actually going to record the first episode of Diablo, the Beelzebub fan mod, which basically just makes the first ever Diablo game run really well in modern versions of Windows. That video actually hasn't come out on this channel yet, so I guess that's a spoiler. I'm gonna go record that. You'll see me in a second teaching you how to do the audio editing part of this. Alright, I'm back from recording the episode now. We can see I've got the file right here in my raw footage Diablo folder. When you record it from DxStory, this is what it's going to be called. It's just named after the exe, and it's got the date and everything. So the first thing I like to do is just rename it. Let's just do Diablo Part 1. And next, if you were to just drag this right into your editor, you would find that it would just display the first audio track. So we want to right-click it and extract audio stream. This is a Windows feature that comes with DxStory. And when used on DxStory files, is actually pretty fast. You can also use this on Morillus Action files, which is really nice. But it is very slow on Morillus Action files, unfortunately, although it does work, and it's quite stable. Let me just fast forward a little bit here. Alright, that's done. So we'll see here we have 2 audio tracks. We have STO and ST1. STO is not actually a sweet wrestling maneuver. That is our first audio track. If we remember, we set our first audio track to be our sound card. So that'll already be in Premiere when we drag it in, so we don't need that. We're just going to work with ST1. Because that's my vocal track. So in the background here, we have Adobe Audition. I use the Adobe editing suite because it's awesome. So let's just drag it in there and double click it. So first thing you'll see, I actually record with a mono microphone. I use the Electro Voice RE20. And DxStory does stereo exclusively, so it actually only picks it up in the right ear if we just play a little random bit of dialogue here. Scroll of Resurrect. Apparently I was looking at a scroll of Resurrect at that point. So we're just gonna Control A to select everything, hit down arrow, to select just that track, Control C to copy it, up twice, Control V to paste it, there we go. Or staff for now. Something about a staff for now, there we go. Now it's actually in both ears, which is nice. So first thing we want to do is white noise profiling. You can also use this in Audacity, which is free if you use Audacity. So what I've done here is I've opened the spectral map, just because I want to be able to see more of the noises produced. Okay, that's a lot of white noise right there. So what we're going to do is just grab a pure sample of white noise. Is this a good one? That's a good sample. Shift P to profile it. Let's turn this off and scroll back out. Select the whole thing, Control Shift P. And this is my setting for getting rid of my white noise in post-recorded things. So we're just going to go ahead and apply that effect to it. In a live stream, I'd normally be using the multi-track, and I'd be doing a live preview of my audio through an audio repeater to my stream to get that good quality audio I have live on streams, but I'll leave that for another video. I'll do a how I do what I do live streaming thing sometime. I'm sure people would be interested in that. So this is almost done here. I like that you can actually do other things while you're doing this in Adobe Audition. So voiceover effects here, this is a favorites thing that I've created. It is just a list of my favorite audio effects I like to go through to make sure that my voice is nice and crisp and clear above gameplay. So we're going to apply all of this. You know what? I could do it manually if you want me to. I believe the order is normalize. Ooh. I think I do normalize, parametric equalizer, normalize. I already forget. Hold on, let's just click it. Show actions. Parametric equalizer, normalize, dynamics processing, normalize. Okay, I'm gonna do this manually so that you can see it. So let's do our EQ first, parametric equalizer. This is not necessarily the best possible thing you can always do. It's just, this is what I have working for me right now. I've toyed around with it a lot, and this is the best I've got it sounding so far. I have my own personal EQ preset here. This is what it looks like. Everyone's voice is different, everyone's microphone is different, everyone's audio interface is different, if you even have one. So you can copy this down if you want to, but it isn't necessarily going to sound quite so good with your voice. It really depends on the individual's voice. So we're just going to go ahead and apply that. That is mostly to boost the highs and the lows in the frequencies of my voice. This makes sure that you can hear it over the gameplay all right. Next, we're going to normalize this because we want it to sound normal. I actually don't want to normalize that low. Normally, standard is like 98 for editing. So we're going to normalize that. That is just changing essentially the volume of it. Bring it down a little bit because it was peaking a little bit there. Next, we're going to do some dynamics processing. So that's, there it is. This is my voiceover test one, which is my favorite one. Is that my favorite one? Yeah, I actually like the test more than the regular voiceover. And we're going to apply that one. That one is mostly just to kind of bring back the peaks a little bit and boost out the lower ones so the volume is a little bit more evenly distributed across things. So that, you know, it doesn't suddenly get really loud and then get really quiet. See, that evens things out a lot. And then one last time, we're just going to bring this up with another normalize, just to make sure the volume is nice and loud so I can work with that. There we go. That's a lot more of what I'm looking for right there. Is nice and even across the board. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to Control-Shift-S to save. Location, let's pick just some random thing here. And we need to make a new folder in here. This is where I like to get all my voice clips. So let's do Diablo. I'm illiterate. I can't even type. Which I don't think is illiterate. Yeah, I think there's another word for that. Whatever. I'm going to save it as MP3 just to save on hard drive space, because this is on a different hard drive that has less space. Honestly, when it hits YouTube, you're not going to hear a difference because the YouTube audio quality is not great. Not with this show, you're not going to hear a difference, at least. With other shows, maybe. It depends. If you're making music, probably don't save it as an MP3. But I'm not making music, this is a voiceover for the game. So we have that saved. that's all we really need to do here in Audition. So I'm actually going to close out of Audition there. So we have Premiere in the background here. This is Adobe Premiere CS6, I believe it is. At the top it just says CC 2015. But this is the most updated one. I think the most recent update was a week or two ago. It still says 2015 because that's when this version was made. We're going to start a new project. And I'm just going to name the project Diablo, just for the sake of making it easy on myself. So the first thing I always do when I start a new project is hold down Control and hit N. This is to make a new sequence. This is where the video is actually going to be. I have a custom preset I made here. These are the settings for it. If you want to write that down, I highly recommend these. It's just to make sure that the thing is running in 60 frames and that you're not having any issues with how I'm recording this digitally. Like, this is not like movie footage off a film camera or off a TV. This is being locally recorded on my computer. It's Diablo. So, got all of that, and you can see on the tracks here, I just make sure I've got some video tracks and some stereo audio tracks, because I recorded stereo, not mono. Even though I have a mono microphone, it's just simulated stereo. So all of that is good. So we get to name our sequence. This is going to be the name of the video. So the first thing I always do is 1 space dash. No, that actually 2 spaces is fine. That might look weird now. It'll make sense later. Because you'll notice when I upload my videos, they don't look like that. Let's just do Diablo. Was it Beelzebub edition? You see, here's the impasse where I don't remember how to spell Beelzebub off the top of my head. So I'm just gonna say, insert the bub right there, and then dash part 1. And I will be changing that later. So here's the fun and most interesting part immediately. I'm just like stretching these out a little bit so I can see them better, turning off a few. And I say, you're gonna notice I'm gonna hit Control S and save constantly. That's a habit I learned back in high school. I've been editing since I was 15 years old. I am about to turn 24 in about a month. And I've been editing videos since I was 15 years old in high school. And I've been doing YouTube for 6 years now. So I've been doing this for a long time. So you learn early, it's drilled in my head early. Hey, you never know when a crash is gonna happen. Get in the habit of saving every minute. Every time you do anything, just save. It takes a half a second. So, we have some tabs down here. Those windows will be off on my second monitor, so you won't see them, but it's literally just windows that I'm going to be dragging assets in from. So what we're going to do here, you will see this one, of course. We actually don't need this file anymore. I'm going to drag Diablo Part 1 in there. So you can see down here it says generating peak file for Diablo Part 1. So it's basically just making sure it works okay. Takes a little bit of time, especially with the game footage, so we're just going to let that go in the background. We don't need that open anymore. We can double left click here to open things up. I don't want my first look folder. I want my new Diablo folder and to bring in my voice clip. So I like to have things very organized, so we're going to keep starting new bins, which are just folders. So we're going to do music. Let's do pictures, sequences, footage, voices. Let's start with that for now. And save that, because it's reflex. Okay, footage that, voice that. Wait, did I accidentally footage? I meant to put you in sequences. There we go. Okay, so we're going to drag this footage in. You can see it's just the one audio track by default. And we're also going to drag in voice. So these two things are already synchronized by default. So as long as I don't drag them away from each other, they won't desync at all. There's only 7 millisecond I'm illiterate. 7 millisecond difference between them. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And me later in editing will be turning off the music soon. I'll have been playing music over this to make it more interesting for you. Live, there's no music playing. I'll be turning off the music once we get into the proper editing here, but we're not quite ready yet. I actually want to drag this forwards a little bit. Because one thing I like to do to make my video intros look really nice when it comes to these kinds of videos is I have a custom animation. Let me just drag that on here. So this is my intro animation. I made it in Adobe After Effects. Made it with the help of Mr. Chris Mad from Visnomatic. I'll have a link to his channel on screen if you want to click that. He does great YouTube videos. But yeah, he taught me how to use some tools in Adobe After Effects, which made me this intro. So let's just watch this real quick. Right, so it was really stuttery at the end there, right? That's just a thing when you're editing with big file footage like this. It won't stutter in the finished product, and I can actually pre-render it to make it not stutter in this. However, we're working with unrendered footage here. It's a big file size, there's gonna be some stutter. This is just our preview window. The finished product won't have stutter. So, yeah, there, I've played it a few times, so it was more smooth that time. But it's 60 frames per second in the actual video when it comes out, which looks nicer. So I want to do something with that. So if we watch our actual footage here, it's playing the music and everything. So here's where I do my intro. Hey everybody, I'm Mah-Dry-Bread and welcome to... You're gonna hear a lot of me backwards, you're gonna hear a lot of me in fast speech mode and fast forward. Get used to it. So what we're gonna do, I'm happy with that. So I hit C on my keyboard to go to my cutter. I'm holding down Shift to cut everything there. And we are going to bring all of this back. So get rid of that. Bring all of this back and have it line up with that. Drag this longer. And I can get rid of that. I held down Control and hit E for a constant power audio fade there, because that's just what my default for it is. I don't think that's what the default is in Premiere for everyone. That's just what I turned it to because I find it convenient. And we're going to make this louder, so I just right-click it and hit Audio Gain. I like to set the gain to 10 higher. So let's listen back to it. It might be a little loud, but let's just listen to this. Hey everybody, I'm Mah-Dry-Bread and welcome to this playthrough of Diablo. You see how it faded into the quieter music, and my voice with those audio effects, it amplified the deep parts of my voice and the high parts of my voice, so it stands out from the music. Hey everybody, I'm Mah-Dry-Bread and welcome to this playthrough of Diablo Beelzebub Edition. Hey, see, we're geniuses. Also, speaking of geniuses like I am, how do you spell Beelzebub? Let's just... B-E-L-Z-E, bub. Let's just Control Z that one, and again. So let's change that sequence name. Insert the bub. I think that's correct. Let me just double check again. B-E-L, B-L-Z bub. Ah, Z-E bub. Okay. Beelzebub. And if I well and truly got that wrong a second time because I am so fucking dumb, then I'll just do it again. So, we have our sequence ready. We had this weird little blank thing at the beginning there between a 1 and the dash. Now, the point of that is I like to name these videos. So, between the 1 and the dash is where I would name it. I will name it whenever I watch the video back and decide, oh, this is a good name for it. This is a thing I did in the video. And the 1 is just so that when I have it rendered and in my folders, it'll always be in order. I just take the 1 out when I upload it. And that works. So we actually have some more things to drag in on the other monitor here. I want to drag in Watch More, which is a little outro picture I use, and put some video in. You'll actually see it at the end of this video as well. I like to put that at the first episode of Let's Plays and whatnot. And I'm going to be bringing in this fast forward button picture I have for use later. So we're going to put that under Pictures. We can, we can keep sequences open. I like to have Watch More just kind of not in a folder, always at the bottom. Same with intro animation, just because I use them so often. Because if I were to have a second episode ready, I would just hold Control and hit N and make another sequence right now, and it would appear right here, and then we could just edit all of them into one big project. So that's why I just called the project Diablo, because this project is going to be the entire playthrough of Diablo, assuming I continue it. You know, it depends on if people like it or not. So we're at the part now where I'm just going to kind of go through and edit. I'm going to listen to it a lot on fast forward, so it'll up the reverb of my voice and play it faster, the reverb. So it might sound weird. You do get used to it. I've been doing this for like 6 years. I've been doing YouTube specifically for 6 years and editing before that. So I'm just used to hearing my own voice and fast forward like that. So that all works. And this is going to be the excruciatingly long sit part. Don't blame you if you skip this part to the end. However, I do have a few editing gags in mind that I want to do during this. So I think that this will teach you how to do some of those things. You'll pick up some tips along the way. And also, it'll kind of give you an idea for if you want to get into Let's Playing or doing playthroughs. This gives you an idea of the work you have to do behind the scenes in the editing room. There's a saying that for every favorite YouTuber you have, like anywhere between 66 and 95% of their time is spent in the editing software. It's absolutely true. The vast majority of what I do is in editing. Just sitting here and rewatching everything I've done. All right, let's do this. I'll pause and interject when I feel like I need to, but there won't be a ton of it. And whenever I try and do an editing gag, I'll try and explain it as much as I can. Hey everybody, I'm Mah-Dry-Bread and welcome to this playthrough of Diablo, Beelzebub Edition. So if you don't know, this is the first Diablo game of the Beelzebub fan mod. Basically what it does is it improves the user interface and makes it work very well in moderate resolutions. You may notice some occasional crackle there. That's just the CPU working extra hard to catch up and everything, because I am recording this whole thing on OBS on the other monitor and everything at the moment. So that is taking up some of the CPU that Premiere would rather like to use. Video editing is very tough on the CPU and the RAM. My RAM is fine, I got like 32 gigabytes of it, but the CPU, it can have a hard time a little bit sometimes. So just know that that crackling is not something that's actually going to come out in the finished Diablo video once I render it. God, this whole thing is going to be really weird to edit later. Future me in editing. Is this weird? Yeah, it's pretty weird. Well, I guess future me probably answered then. Let's continue. Modern versions of Windows, because I'm on Windows 10, and Diablo is so old that when you install, it asks you if you want to sign up for the internet. So I love Diablo, but I haven't beaten it since probably the year after it came out. I'll have whatever year that was on screen. Ah, God. Okay, I just gave myself some work. Okay, let's re-listen to this. I'll have whatever year that was on screen. I'll put it right here. So I've hit this little marker button. If you hit a second time, you can name it. Put year Diablo was made on screen. And I'm going to make that gold because I like to make the text markers gold. And I'm going to have to type in text for that. So that's just a little marker to let me know that later I want to go back and do that. Have whatever year that was on screen, because I can guarantee in editing later I'll feel really old typing it. Oh, I'm sure I will feel old when I check what year Diablo was. Okay, so I'm just going to put a red marker there to notify to myself later that that's when I can make it go away. So, let's go to single player. This is a single player version of the mod. There's a multiplayer thing, I think, that doesn't fully work yet. I don't know if it's in beta or what. So, wow, that's loud. I'll turn that down for you. God damn it. Alright. So, where did that sound start? Or what? So what I'm going to do is put 2 audio fades on that and lower the actual volume of that by 10. So let's see what that sounds like. So, wow, that's loud. I'll turn that down for you. That works a lot better. Normally, there'd be Warrior, Rogue, and Sorcerer, just those 3 here. But they added Barbarian, Necromancer, and Assassin. I believe Barbarian was actually from one of the expansions you could purchase. I could be misremembering. I'll have it on screen if I'm right or wrong. God damn it, I really gave myself a lot of work this episode. I guess this is a good one to teach you on. I was just trying to have a drink of my tea. From one of the expansions you could purchase. I could be misremembering. I'll have it on. Alright, put on screen if the Barbarian is an expansion character or a mod character. Alright, that's another thing for me to Google later. I'll have it on screen if I'm right or wrong. But Necromancer and Assassin were not classes in this game, which is why I think I'm gonna pick Necromancer to show you something that they completely added in this mod. Normally I would go with Sorcerer or Warrior. Warrior just kind of feels right in this game because he's the canonical hero of the game, and Sorcerer's just kind of fun, but I'm gonna try Necromancer, so that's what we're gonna do today. My name is Mah-Dry-Bread. Alright, and the first thing I'm gonna do is turn down the music, because every time you start a new file, it forgets your sound settings, which is odd. So this mod, you can already see, if you've played the original Diablo, you know you can't zoom in as far. I think the highest resolution that game supports is 800 by 600. It's a very old game. You can see that the UI, god, the mana and the health look so pretty to me. They always looked pretty to me growing up. There's those orbs. That gets me in the mood to play this game. But you can see that they redid this whole little UI thing to make more sense. Like, the crafting key that's not in the game yet. It's kind of weird. But so just there, I considered taking a screenshot of this and making it so the UI is bigger in the screenshot so you can take a better look at those orbs. But then I realized, wait a minute, if I blow up the picture of the orbs, they're just going to look really bad, so it's better I keep them small. So just so you know what's going through my head as an editor. You can see the inventory here. It's very organized, everything looks very clean. It's a little small, but you can actually use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. And this is more like what the game looked like when you actually played it in the old days. Imagine the UI being a lot bigger. You walk around like this, all zoomed in. So one thing I'm looking for as I edit is I need to... there's a screenshot button here to screenshot or to export the frame, to basically screenshot whatever's in the preview at the moment. I need to actually look for a good time to screenshot some action going on in the game to use in the video thumbnail. And imagine on an old CRT monitor. So I'm probably not going to remember every little thing in the game. I'm probably not going to do every little thing in the game. I'm just going to kind of take my time and enjoy this and take you along for the ride. Let's talk to Kane.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
God, that voice acting is awesome. I love it.
Ogden has owned and run the Rising Sun Inn and Tavern for almost 4 years now. He purchased in just a few short months before everything here went to hell. He and his wife Garda do not have the money to leave, as they invested all they had in making a life for themselves here. He is a good man with a deep sense of responsibility.
Tristram. I love this place. Okay. So, we're just going to talk to people with exclamation points on our head, and we'll spend some real time exploring the town later in the game, but I want to get to the action fairly early to let you guys decide whether or not this is something you want to watch early on.
Thank goodness you returned. Much has changed since you lived here, my friend. All was peaceful until the Dark Riders came and destroyed our village. Many were cut down where they stood, and those who took up arms were slain, or tried to wait to become slaves. Or worse. The church at the edge of town has been desecrated and is being used for dark rituals. The screams that echo in the night are inhuman, but some of our townsfolk may yet survive. Follow the path that lies between my tavern and the blacksmith shop to point to the church and save what you can. Perhaps I can tell you more if we speak again. Good luck.
Alright, that's our first quest. We need to go save the church, so we're going to do that now. So, I happen to know the path is up this way. Just so you know not to trail off to the north there. Here's the church! It's not a very long walk. Maybe like a dying man, but no one has decided to help. So before I go into the dungeon, actually, you can see here, these are skills we can pick from. Oh, that church, with me standing in the light and the dying man beside it, that's a tempting one to screenshot for the thumbnail, but I think I might figure out something better. With a Frost Shard spell. Interesting, and the Raise Zombie spell. So is this a Diablo 2 style? It is, okay. Let's do that then. So what you do is you hover over something and you hit an F key, like a function key, and that means that you can now hit those function keys to switch between those spells.
Please, listen to me. The Archbishop Lazarus. He led us down here to find the Lost Prince. Bastard led us into a trap. Now everyone is dead, killed by a demon he called the Butcher. Avenge us. Find this Butcher and slay him, so that our souls may find the rest. Your death will be avenged.
Oh, that voice acting is so good.
Your death will be avenged. Your death
will be avenged. That's why I played over itself multiple times. Okay, so much like in Diablo 2, the dungeons are actually randomly...
This place has been fouled.
Right. Okay, here's an edit I might want to do. Let's listen to this again. I was hoping I could play it over itself multiple times. Okay, so much like in Diablo 2, the dungeons are actually... If I cut here and cut here. So this is how it plays normally. Okay, so much like in Diablo 2, the dungeons are actually randomly...
This place has been fouled.
Let's actually delete the audio there for my voice track. And what does it sound like now? Oop. Come on, play. I was hoping I could play it over itself multiple times.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
Right. Much better. Much like in Diablo 2, the dungeons are actually randomly generated in this game, which I think is super cool. So we're just using the left mouse button here, if you've never played a Diablo game, to strike things. We can hold down, was it Alt to toggle or Shift to toggle? Alt to double check next time there's an item on the ground. Okay. Control is to toggle, and Alt is to hold. Got it. What I'm doing, all the ones. So, what I'm doing there, with Alt and Control, is making it so that every single name of every item in the area highlights. So, Pastor is our healing spell. Okay, it's enough to... What did that heal with? 15-ish? I'll have to check the exact numbers later. So we're not quite as good at magic as the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer does have an ability, right from the beginning of the game, where he can fully recharge your saves for, fully. Like, for free. And, that's... God, I really stumbled over my words there. That's... God, not a good first impression for people finding me just through the Diablo video. Very useful. Because I believe normally you need to pay money for that, and you need to go back to town for that. And our healing spell's actually attached to our staff. Okay, so it's not the strongest heal in the world. Alright, let's start testing our other spells. So we can use the bodies of the enemies. That sound effect is gonna get obnoxious. Let's, That's slightly more tolerable. Alright, so a new thing that I forgot that I haven't brought up yet, probably should use this spell more actually, is that Necromancer only spells cast their own life. So you gotta be really careful about spending too much. So I actually don't know what our mana recharge rate is like. So most of the zombies we summon, oh god, they'll attack us too. That's interesting, so we don't have control over the zombies we summon. Well, let's try a healing potion. Man, I'm still so used to Diablo 2, because that's the most recent one I played. I don't remember if this one even has natural mana regen. I'll have to wait and see. I wonder if I can actually get experience by killing my own zombie. We'll have to wait and see then. This will probably be a pretty long and slow playthrough. Might be a good podcast playthrough, you know? Watching the background kind of thing. Much like this video. Those things really beat me up. So, as you might expect, one of the harder... Come on. Okay, I can actually think of it pretty easily. One of the harder classes to play is any kind of magic class in Diablo 1. So, in original Diablo 1, that would be Sorcerer. Just because you're kind of squishy, you're kind of easy to take out, you've got to be careful about that. There we go. And sometimes it's best to really go back to town a lot early on and stock up on items you might need, you know, healing potions, such stuff. Perhaps even buying some weak armor early on. Because armor does make a substantial difference when you're this squishy. At least I find it does. Alright, I think part of what I'm doing wrong here is I should probably be summoning more zombies. Oh, Risen Zombies, my zombie. Okay, I was confused there. I thought that other zombie that was hostile to me was one of mine.
I bet I'm gonna get so many comments on that Diablo video when it goes up just telling me I'm an idiot for not understanding the zombie thing from the beginning. Love YouTube.
Minion of Mah-Dry-Bread, okay. Seems like sometimes I heal more than other times. It's good to know, so there's a random factor to it. A lot of skeletons in that room. Okay, there's a regular zombie. So, your abilities that are tied to your character class unlock at certain levels. There isn't a skill tree system, like in Diablo 2, so far as I remember. And I just accidentally drank a mana potion. That was an absolute accident, but I guess I shouldn't complain. Because I kind of need the mana anyway. What I meant to do was, yeah, that. I wanted to heal up. Actually, can I summon a zombie out of their zombies? I can. Interesting. Yeah, so they kind of wander. They don't actually follow me around. I don't know if they last until death. Ow. Or time limit. Did he just collapse? Okay, looks like they do have a time limit on them then. Well, there's down to level 2. You can hit tab here if you want to get the mini-map up. In Diablo games, you tend to just get used to having that up all the time. Actually, a good idea might be to put away the staff, if I can find a better weapon. Alright, let's just fight these guys. Oh, I leveled. Leveling up does give you a full health restore, which is very nice, and mana restore. God, love the sound design in this game. Really brings back memories, even if this looks a lot better than it used to. Unless you zoom in like this, that's classic style. Kinda classic style, I mean the UI is still large. Or small, rather. You know, the opposite. Okay, so I really want to get to the library there, so I think it's down here, but let's distribute our stat points. So we can look at our character sheet here and really learn a lot about our character. I do know it actually tells you about your current staff spell and how many charges you have left. That's interesting. But yeah, I think that magic is a wise investment early on. Vitality is probably also something I really want to invest in. Partly because I need a lot of health for raising zombies, and partly there are a lot of skeletons in that room. And also partly because apparently the health of my summons are based off my character's vitality. So we don't have the strength for that right now. We might actually want to up our strength a little bit to where's better gear. This is 2 to 6, this is 2 to 8. Okay, so we might as well stick with our staff for now. I really don't know if I want to open that. You know what, let's play with fire. Come on, zombie! You can do it! Oh, zombie can't do it, can he? Let's just put them in the conga line of death.
You know what? During one of those blasts, that might be a good time. I'm trying to see, is there a moment in that that looks especially good? Maybe that. I'll screenshot that as a maybe for the thumbnail.
Okay, now they're trying to get out of the funnel. I gotta worry now. That's all the mana. Let's stand right here. Ooh, my zombie is not very good. Maybe Necromancer was not the greatest, but you know what? I'm gonna try and make it work. Let's leave them out here. I can only have one zombie at a time. Good to know. If anything, I like that they target the zombie more than they target me. That's right, zombie, get in there. Fight on my behalf. Oh, crap. It does seem like he's smart enough to aggro to enemies from a reasonable distance. Unfortunately, my chance to hit is quite low. As you can see from me missing a lot here. It might be worth investing a little bit in agility. It's just I still have that Diablo 1 mindset, where there were sometimes 1 to 2 stats you would literally never put a single point in on a good build. Book of Holy Bolt. Scroll of Identify. Scroll of Resurrect. Alright. So, the Scroll of Identify, well, first of all, Book of Holy Bolt, might as well read that. So we have another spell in our book. Creates a bolt of holy energy that damages undead enemies. Well, that's a lot stronger than my current spell, as a holy damage. So I'm actually going to put that on 1, on F1. And we have a scroll identify. Right, that is not used the same way as was the first game. Use it this way, I believe. Do I just click on it, right-click it? There we go, that's how you use it. Lightning resistant light radius. That's pretty useless, but it's something. So I guess we'll use it. Okay. Not enough mana. Crap. And we have no mana potions. There's a healing potion over by them. And there are no zombies to bring up in this room. Let's just try and lead them back bit by bit. Okay, we seem to be okay as long as we take it slow and make sure we don't get surrounded. Alright, I'm happy with that. So we do have a short sword here. We don't have the strength for it, unfortunately, because it would be a reasonable step up. And you do have an alternate set of equipment that you can switch into with the W key on the fly. So that it's very quick to switch between my staff for healing and another set of gear for melee fighting when it needs to be. Hopefully later in the game, I'll be not melee fighting, almost ever, when possible. I'd rather be casting spells from afar and letting my minions do all the work. It bugs me slightly that when the fallen ones die, the sound of their staff hitting the ground sounds a lot like an item dropping in Diablo 2. And that immediately makes me think I should be looking for an item.
Yeah, that's even bugging me in editing, I'm noticing it.
So, this game does have a pretty slow walk speed, that's just kind of how Diablo 1 was. Just like before, though, they've got an interesting AI. They're kind of smart enough to back off every once in a while and come back later. It's really interesting exactly how they decide to move. It seems like it's when you're dealing damage to one of them, they kind of like a scatter. It can be frustrating to really hunt them all down for the experience. It is worth it, though. Let's actually go get those other sarcophagus. Sarcophagi? Probably sarcophagi.
Part of me, as an editor, is tempted to go Google if it's sarcophagus or sarcophagi, but I have a feeling the viewers don't care, so I'm not going to bother.
I see another library to the top left there. I should probably go there. Anytime I can get my hands on a spell, it's worth going out of my way for it. There's a blood fountain over there. I believe that's a healing shrine. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, no, don't get in there. It's a little bit hard to control just because the vast majority of the game is mouse controlled. And there are some problems with that. Ooh, and sometimes you want to turn off the item name overlay. Inventory space issues. And we did level up during that whole thing. God, we have a very small inventory. Here we go. What's our strength? Yeah, we want that to be 20. So we have a cape now, it's a very basic chest armor. And also equip on our other slot there, I'm going to equip that short sword, it is much stronger in a fight than my staff, which is actually low durability. This one has a frost shard charge. This one has healing charges. You know what? Let's hold on to that staff for when we fight like a boss or something. Because I feel like we can actually get some mileage out of that. And those two short swords are the same. Actually, this one has slightly higher durability. Okay. Let's not fight that zombie just because I don't care. Oh, no. How do I get up there? Gotta backtrack a little? Okay. I do love that stance, the cautious walking forwards with the sword. It's great. A lot of skeletons in there. Potions are incredibly valuable to me. In fact, I'd very much like that on my hotbar. So, this is kind of one of those games. Good trap, buddy. Your dart completely missed.
I love that.
Oh, man, that's a lot in there. You know what? Now might be a good time to crack out. Or should I be...
Ooh, God. I just realized a really good gag. Hold on, let's go back. This is kind of one of those games. Alright, I really want to add the "Hey, you missed, pal" sound effect. Add "Hey..." Oh, I did my keyboard switch. Oh, my keyboard switch to French-Canadian mode for a second there. I'm Canadian. "Hey, you missed, pal" sound clip. Alright, I'm gonna have to go get that from online, the "Hey, you missed, pal" sound clip, to insert there, because that's absolutely hilarious. If you don't know, that is a sound clip from the game Darkseid 2, obscure PC game, not very good. Mostly just known nowadays because Retsupre did a funny video series on it.
Good trap, buddy. Your dart completely missed. Oh, man, that's a lot in there. You know what? Now might be a good time to crack out. Or should I be saving that? You know what? I think I should save that staff for when I fight the Butcher. This is a lot of skeletons to fight one by one. Well, this gives me a little bit of time to talk. It's one of those personal gratification games. Sorry, I'm slightly illiterate today. Personal gratification games. It is really satisfying to just sit back and relax and play this game. That isn't to say it's super easy or anything, especially not on your first time through. Oh, I gotta turn that off so I can see them. Let's drink a healing potion. I was just accidentally out of reflex hitting the wrong button for it. Oh. Yeah, when they hit hard. Which is why I should be doing that more. Don't know how interesting this will be to watch. I'll wait and see what I hear back from you guys in the comments section on how interesting you find this to watch. It'll also be real fun to play with friends online. But I don't know how stable the online version of this mod is yet. And I can tell you right now, it is a pain to get the original game working, at least on Windows 10. Because even if you get it working, you're playing it in a really, really tiny resolution. And I believe it actually shuts off your Windows like Explorer.exe to get it to run. So I think I should go drop this sword so I can grab the club. That's a pretty bad weapon for how much strength it requires you. Oh, it's not identified yet. Okay, never mind. It might end up being bad.
Where would I put this?
Drop the staff just for a moment.
Where would I put this?
I do find that there's something strangely satisfying about the spell system in this game, of just how you learn things. Dark Pact. Next level is at 30 magic. Sacrifice part of life energy to recover mana. That's interesting. Cooldown 60 seconds. 10% of your life. Huh. Spell level is based off player level. That's an interesting spell. I don't know how much mileage I'll get out of that, just because I already need to spend life to summon things, but I do find something very gratifying about collecting spells in this game. So we already know the way to the previous or God, that was almost a kill!
God, that was a really bullshit trap, wasn't it? Know the way to the previous, or rather depth. Ah! I wonder how much life I survived with. So we already know the way to the previous, or rather depth. Ah! God, that really was perfect. I don't think there's a gag I can do with that, is there? I'm trying to think, is there like a sound effect I have that would be really funny there? Hold on, let me check this other folder I have open. Where's my sound effect one? Royalty-free sound effects. No, not Batman transition. Not a laugh track. Probably not a slide whistle. The relaxing sound of waves. Yeah, I don't think I've got a soundtrack for that one. Damn it. Alright, we're gonna have to do with what we've got. God, that was almost a kill. It's gonna pass on.
Wow, that almost wiped me. That must have had 1 health. So I already know the way to the next floor. If I were to want to go there. Going for the spell cap? You know what? I'm fine with what I have. However, you do really get rewarded for exploring in this game. You get more experience over the course of the game, quite a bit more, actually. Ooh, Charged Bolt. I remember that being a fun spell. Let's go to our spell book here. Charged Bolt. 1 to 8 lightning damage, which is not amazing, but it's 3 bolts. A lot of people probably played Diablo 2, but haven't played Diablo 1, so you might know...
You know what? Let's just make a temporary marker there. I've just realized the sound effect I want to use. You do really get... So I just gotta find that moment again. Come on, where is it?
That was almost a kill.
Alright, what's the moment of impact? Right there, okay. Add the sound effect. That's right, I'm gonna leave it as a cliffhanger even for you watching this, and then I'm just gonna go back to that marker and delete it. This is where we were before. And back to the video. I guess you'll have to see what sound effect I'm gonna use soon. It'll be fun.
How fun Charged Bolt is. It's, I'm not big on the Lightning Sorceress from the second game. That's if you're Sorceress and you go to Lightning. Not the biggest fan of it overall, but my god, is spamming Charged Bolt fun. That's pretty much worth the price of admission. Okay, so we're making progress if we go up this way, I think. I'll use that zombie for forever, y'all. Was this just a dead end? Well, there's worth it for the healing potion. There's very little left to explore here. We can see that there's something in here we haven't explored. Oh, there's a zombie back there. My cursor just went over it. Actually, you know what? That's good to use a blood fountain, because I doubt I'm coming back here. Delicious, delicious blood. So we need to go all the way back down to here where we had this big fight.
I cannot get there from here.
So are we going... Oh, okay, yeah, I've got the path. There's a door here that I didn't see before. Oh, God! Alright, we're back at this again. Again, a warrior has a much easier start than this because he excels at melee combat. And because if you're a caster, you rely on your magic but you don't have much magic early on, you're gonna have a rough time. Which is actually why I'm putting these points in strength early on, just so that I'm somewhat competent in melee combat. That said, I'm gonna have to leave for town pretty soon. I think I'm gonna leave for town after this first floor is done. Did I accidentally close the door? Or was that the sound of it being blocked? Oh, it's blocked. Okay. It'd be pretty unfair if I could just shut the door in their face on this one. Oh, there's still more here. Didn't notice. I must be pretty low on charges by now. Only 8 left. Okay. Yeah, I probably don't need those rags. Bookcase. Book of Heal Other. Learning a good amount of spells early on. And that was it for this area. So all that's left to check is way up there. So in the future, whenever I have a really long walk and nothing to talk about, I'm probably going to fast forward these walks, but because we're pretty early on, I want to leave this one in entirely, just this one walk at least, because it kind of represents what the game is like. So if you want to go make a purchasing decision based on this video, you've got to know what you're in for. I'm not going to edit it around too much to make it look better than it is. But when I go back to town, I will edit out the trip back to town, because I don't remember if I have a town portal scroll right now. That was it. Just press the M button is to mute the game. I was not aware. Resurrect, Healing, Inferno. Yeah, I don't have a town teleport scroll. And I'm that's not identified. I didn't know I could wear it without it being identified. Alright, I'm going back.
Town, I'll fast forward this one for you. Okay, so I said in the recording there that I'd fast forward it, so what I've done here is I just held down shift, hit C and then held down shift and clicked to cut that whole bit. So this is where the fast forward is going to start. So let's just make that blue and do FF to tell myself fast forward. And let's find where the end of that is going to be. Not yet. Usually I know where I wanted to end it in recording. Yeah, it'll be right here. You see that? So let's go down to regular speed. All right, we're back in Premiere. Okay. So we cut here, cut there. We don't need the voice track. We actually don't need the game track either, so let's unlink. Delete that. So we want to speed up this whole chunk. It looks to be about 30 seconds or so. Let's right-click it and do speed and duration. Yeah, 32.5 seconds. So I've already got a song in mind I want to use for this fast forward. Sometimes I would do all these edits after, but with fast forward ones, I like to do it while I'm still in the editing process, just because I don't want it to mess with the time codes of other markers I place later. So I already have a song in mind. Let me just bring it in. I could use something dignified, or I could reach into the game music. I could take an actual song from Diablo and put it in there. Or I could even use one of the many high-quality songs in my royalty-free music sound bank. Or I could just use a MIDI file if you spin me Right Round by Dead or Alive. And that's what we're going to use. So I gotta put that there. Now that's like a 16-minute song. So I'm going to figure out exactly what I want to do with this. All right, how loud is it by default? Too loud. Let's knock it down a notch. That's about right. Okay. So now we gotta find the part of the song we want to use. I want to use a really small chunk. Cut this down to like a 5-second or less thing. God, that's a good song. All right. Gonna drag it back some more. 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 Hey, this is what I wanted. This is probably what I want. So let's listen to it a little bit. Cut it a little too soon. Let's try here. I'm happy with that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just, you know what? Let's Alt and scroll wheel a little bit. And we're going to Alt and scroll wheel back to approximately where we were, which this is usually good. And we're going to take the speed and duration here. We're going to copy the duration and then go into the duration of our clip we want to fast forward and paste it in there. That way, they're the exact same length. We're going to right-click on the empty space here and ripple delete to bring everything farther on in the timeline back to match it. So we want to make sure that this is a distinct fast forward. Right now you can see it's like 472% faster. Yeah, and you can see the frame rate dips there. In the actual rendered version, it won't. That's just it having a hard time keeping up. So there are a few things that I like to do. To make sure people know it's a fast forward and, you know, really complete the effect. The first thing I do is I actually use a fast forward, like an old VCR fast forward icon. Because again, I'm old and I grew up with VCRs. At least I sure as hell feel old. So we're just going to put that up there for the duration of the clip. Next is you see here effects presets. These are all effects that I've made and I use commonly as presets. We have a fast forward one that I made. This one I actually found with an online resource. Online, I just searched up, you know, what are some fast forward effects people use in Premiere, and some people had some good ideas of a wave warp that you could use. So you can see here, it's just a wave warp. It's already in effects in Premiere, and this is just the settings that they use to make it look like a VCR fast forwarding. See? And I like to put the speed on screen just because people tend to be curious. Like, I wonder how much is fast forwarded by. It's just a fun little thing. So this is 472. So I use my own custom font thing I made here. It's a gradient, it's a linear gradient color that's kind of gold because it matches my channel. I use a big gold motif. This is not a font that is default to Windows. It's called Curse Casual. I found it on DaFonts, which is a website where you can look up fonts. And this is a completely free to use font that it's like completely no rights reserved in any way, completely royalty free. You can use it in commercial products. So that's why I use it. So let's do, was that 472% speed. And let's make that a little bit bigger than 100. Let's make that 150. And we'll move it up here. And we're going to hit the center button. There we go. I'm happy with that. And we'll drag that into the timeline. And I actually don't have a bin for this, but let's have text, because that tends to get messy in a long project. Okay, let's watch this again. Or this one for you. All right. Okay, I'm happy with that. We're back in town now. We did the first level of the dungeon, so let's talk around a little bit.
I'm glad I got up to a time. Our wells have become brackish and stagnant, and some of the townspeople have become ill drinking from them. Our reserves of freshwater are quickly running dry. I believe that there is a passage that leads to the springs that serve our town. Please find what has caused this calamity, or we all will surely perish.
I'd like to receive healing. Thank you. I believe healing is free, which is nice. And I can trade to sell some stuff. Merchants look that up. Oh, right, not every merchant will take every item in this one. Let's go to the blacksmith. Oh, Grimswold. Or Griswold.
What can I do for you?
Clearly my memory doesn't hold up.
I saw what Farnham calls the butcher. There's a swath of the path and the bodies of my friends. He swung a cleaver as large as an axe, hewing limbs and cutting down brave men where they stood. I was separated from the fray by a horse's small screeching demons, and somehow found the stairway leading out. I never saw a hideous beast again, but his blood-stained visage haunts me to this day.
I love this game. Okay, so you can see here he's actually selling armors that are related to my class, which is really nice. I can repair my equipment, although it's expensive. I believe it's the warrior has the ability to repair equipment for free, although he has a 5-minute cooldown on it, so it can take a little while. Now, I forget your money actually takes up inventory room in the first game, which was kind of stupid. We're just going to sell the junk that we don't need. I doubt I'm going to need this stuff, but it might be worth more money to sell. It might be worth more money to sell once we have it identified. Decker, you identify, don't you? Ooh, I just thought of a name I want for this episode. Let's do A Journey Begins. There we go. I'm happy with that. And the one, again, we'll take out when we upload it to YouTube, but the rest of that title is actually done, so we can close sequences there.
Oh, my friend, stay a while.
Ooh, right, you actually had a price tag on identifying things in the first game. Alright, what was the rate? 10 hit points. You know what, 10 hit points is actually kind of nice this early on, and resist gold. Now, how much is it worth to sell?
What can I do for you?
It's worth a lot more to me than 10 hit points. Thank you. Let's use that money to identify everything else.
Stay a while and listen.
Griswold, why are you walking away from your blacksmithing place?
What can I do for you?
Okay, I feel like I will be using that at some point. With this, not really. And definitely not on that. So I think I'm happy with selling that for now. Actually, what do I want to buy? Because a robe is probably a good idea. Now, buying anything magical does take up a lot of money. So I think I'm going to buy just this robe. Our price is 7, which is a lot better than anything else I can have right now. To sell the old one. And for weapons, I think we're good with the short sword for now. And let's put on this. Private stash, so we can, yeah, private stash is just a place where you can put items for use later. I don't think I want to put anything away right now. I hate this kid. I hate that kid so much.
Over here. If I were a few years older, I would shower her with whatever riches I could muster. And let me assure you, I could get my hands on some very nice stuff. Jillian is a beautiful girl who should get out of Tristram as soon as it is safe. Maybe I'll take her with me when I go.
I hate this kid.
I know more than you think about that grisly thing. His little friend's got a hold of me and managed to get my leg before Griswold pulled me out of that hole. I'll put it bluntly. Kill him before he kills you and adds your corpse to his collection.
This kid's weird. It's not for sale, but it costs you 150 gold just to have a look. I hate this kid. I don't care about whatever you've got, kid. Let's go back to the dungeon. Alright, so I remember here. Let's go back to the dungeon. Yeah, I wanted to fast forward here again, too. So let's just, again, mark off the beginning. FF. And let's find where the end is going to be. So we can speed up even more. Those footsteps. Alright. Unlink that. And how long is this? 1, speed and duration. This one is about the same length as the previous one. Let's bring that song in again. And we're going to have to get another clip from it. I wonder how far in I actually was. Let's just cut here, bring it back, and listen. God, that is deafening. Hey, that's a perfect point to come in at, actually. So we want to go back a little bit. If we cut here, perfect. So we're going to speed and duration that one. That one's slightly longer than the previous one, so it will be slightly slower. And we're just going to bring that up here. And speed and duration this one as well to the same number. Oops, didn't mean to make that louder. Just undid that. Here we go. Okay, so we need just same thing. Fast forward on that, and we get the picture on here. Got to resize it again because by default it's enormous. So right about there is good. And we'll put the text on screen. This one's 466. We'll just do 467 because it's 0.9. So, what was that? 467% speed. Put that at 150. Tedious, busy work. It's this kind of stuff that makes people happy, makes the thing feel that much higher quality. Put that in text. And we'll watch that back. The dungeon. Alright. Yeah, that'll look good when it's rendered out so it doesn't have the lag and everything. Alright, so we're about to go down to level 2 now in the dungeon. I don't actually remember what floor the butcher is on. I don't know if we'll get to him this episode or not. Can't make any promises. By the way, I didn't tell you before, but down here, this white bar at the bottom center, that's our experience bar. We're pretty close to another level. Level 3 spawned right here, which is awful convenient. And there's the waypoint, Cathedral level 2 waypoint. Really wish I had grabbed that, because that would have sped up my trip here and back. There we go, we can teleport between there and Tristram, which helps speed things up substantially. And it looks like this place is pretty compact, so maybe this floor will be a faster one. Can't make any promises. Whoa, that's a populated floor. Don't like the idea of them sending archers after me. Really, I can't. Okay, there we go. I say I can't use that body for a zombie. He's taking a lot of hits. I guess my zombies have a lot of health at least, if nothing else. Okay, good if we leveled. You know what? Now's a good time. Yeah. So hold on. So what happens here? Because I remember this being really confusing and bullshit. Because that's a special enemy there. See, it keeps pulling me back. What? Let's rewatch that. I don't know if that's a glitch or not. Because that's a special enemy there. Wow! Yeah, I don't know if that was a glitch, or if that's like a special ability that enemy had. Where's my resurrect? Right-click use?
I cannot get there from here.
Huh.
I cannot get there from here.
Well, we gotta restart in town now. Because we died. I'll be honest, I don't know what happened there. I was trying to walk away and it kept pulling me back in. That was really strange. Well, let's talk to this guy.
The village needs your help, good master. Some months ago, King Eric's son, Prince Ulrich, was kidnapped. The king went into a rage and scoured the village for his missing child. With each passing day, Leroy seemed to slip deeper into madness. He sought to blame innocent townsfolk for the boy's disappearance and have them brutally executed. Less than half of us survived his insanity. The king's knights and priests tried to placate him, but he turned against them and, sadly, they were forced to kill him. With his dying breath, the king called down a terrible curse upon his former followers. He vowed that they would serve him in darkness forever. This is where things take an even darker twist than I thought possible. Our former king is risen from his eternal sleep and now commands a legion of undead minions within the labyrinth. His body was buried in a tomb 3 levels beneath the cathedral. Please, good master, put his soul at ease by destroying his now cursed form.
Okay. Oh, hi, word. What do you want? Oh, I accidentally skipped through that. This? Okay. So he's talking in code. And I'm gonna figure this out right now in this video. Yet out it figured you haven't. So it's, so he's trying to say, you haven't figured it out yet. Something along those lines. Understand? Could you even it's so simple to understand is what he means. And make to tried I chamber butcher from the spell portal town the cast. Cast the town portal spell from the butcher chamber. I tried to make it simple so even you could understand. Haven't you figured it out yet? He's literally saying it 100% backwards. Okay, when I was recording, I thought it was like Pig Latin or something, like he's doing one of those tricks. No, it's literally just 100% backwards. So he just says, cast town portal scroll from the chamber of the butcher.
Chamber butcher, the front spell portal town cast.
What?
Yeah, I figured you haven't. Understand, could you even simulate to try guy? Chamber butcher, the front spell portal town cast.
Is that Pig Latin or something? I don't know. I'll figure it out in editing later. That's giving me a headache listening to that kid. Let's just, I'll figure it out in editing later. Let's just do text and write, it's just backwards. I hate that kid. And we'll type that text in and animate it later. That's giving me a headache listening to that kid. Alright, I don't have this much strength necessarily. I'm not a magic class, but hey, this means I can use my shield, which is a good idea. Let's go back to the site for death. Oh, there's the money we dropped. We actually didn't drop much, that's pretty generous. It's this guy. You crappy unclean. This fucker was like pulling us in when I was trying to walk away, it was weird. I cannot seem to land a hit on that guy. Alright, let's try this one again. Not a great first episode in terms of progress, I gotta say. And our sword's getting real beaten up too. I'm happy we got this waypoint. Oh, this is gonna be promising. Oh, and he fully heals when I come back too. That's not fair. So what we're gonna do, grab that money. And, you know what? Walk back up a level. Let's take a second here to go to our quest log.
You're over. Chamber butcher, the front spell portal town cast. Saying am I what see?
I wish that stayed on screen for me to read.
Chamber butcher, the front.
See what I'm saying? Cast the town portal spell from the butcher chamber. Psst, over here. God damn it! I hate this kid.
Portal town cast. Saying am I what see?
I hate that kid. Anyway, I think I'm going to give this one more crack before I end the episode. I think what I should be doing is take out the people who aren't puke rat first. Now, the problem is that puke rat guy, it seems like he was pulling back, and I don't know if it was a glitch or if that was an ability he was using on me, but he was... Ooh, you know what? Yeah, with me in mid-swing of my sword, that's another good screenshot. He was drawing me in closer to... Okay, I'm getting slaughtered here. So what I'm going to do is, between episodes, I'm going to go around town and just see if there's anything that I should be purchasing to do better. And of course, I know, should be meleeing with should be in melee combat with my magic class and all of that, but you see how low my mana is, I've got to work with what I've got. So, I'm going to consider my options, and on the next episode, we will be able to take out that room. So, if this is your first time watching... Okay, so I'm kind of doing an outro now, so here's a good time to make a cut right here. I'm going to unlink it and get rid of the video part, but leave the audio. And I'm going to bring in the Watch More logo. Control D, which by default, I believe, is actually the cross dissolve. That room. So this is into my outro picture thing. I'm going to take 2 of my videos I want to promote and put them in these boxes for people to be able to click on in YouTube when I do the annotations. If this is your first time watching channel and everything, like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more of me. If you want to see more of the series, I'll have a link to a playlist in the description. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see more of the series. I'll let me know if you guys want me to continue, or if it's just not something you're particularly interested in. And thank you all for watching until next time. Have a nice day. Okay, and let's take 10 seconds on top of that. It's the first episode of the playthrough, so what I'm going to do is cut there. I want to drag... Whoop, I'm going to hit down, not up. There we go. Drag that to the end there. We're going to have the audio and everything fade out. Where did I say have a nice day? And thank you all for watching, and until next time, have a nice day. We're going to cut everything after that for my audio track, because we don't need that. And I will, right here, make the game audio get louder before it goes out. Have a nice day. And then they can enjoy the music there for the last 10 seconds as they're given an option to click the annotations. I'll have a subscribe one there, the one to the playlist there, playlists of 2 other series here and here, and then my clickable Patreon link, and that'll be good. So, right now, our big thing we have to do is we still have some edits left here, but some of this requires Googling, like, what is it?
put Your Diablo Was Made on screen, and like getting the sound effect and looking up the Barbarian expansion thing. So let's just scroll out here. This is what the timeline looks like right now. So I am going to pause the recording real quick. I'm going to go on Google and look these things up and get any assets I need from online, and then we'll be right back to the editing. All right, I'm back from Googling around. I got some assets and stuff. So let's start going through these points one at a time here. So put Your Diablo Was Made on screen. I looked it up. It's 1998. So let's go ahead and put that up. I feel old because I think I played this game shortly after it came out. I was born in 1992. I was probably too young for this game, but whatever. I think I was a mature kid at least. So let's put that on screen. So I'm going to put it in the dead center there because I'm going to animate it. This is one of the longer things when it comes to editing, is the animating of the text and everything, but I've kind of got it down to a science at this point, honestly. So I wanted to come in from the top, so we're just going to drag that off the top. I'm going to click the stopwatch, so it keyframes it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 is about what I want for this, so by 8, want it down to 300. Yeah, 300's good. And then go 2, another keyframe, go 3, and bring it up to 260. Let's do 250. That looks about right. Grab all those frames, ease out. What's it look like? I'll have whatever year I'll have. It's a little slow, actually. Let's speed that up. 8 frames might have been too much. I'll have whatever year. That looks nicer. I like how that looks. Let me just double check something. Yeah, sequence 60. Just making sure everything's good. Okay, and at the end, I want it to go out, so we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, something like that. So, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 2, 300, 2, and done until it's gone. Scroll it off. Typing it. That looks about right. Okay, so that's that one done. What's next? What's next is put on screen if the expansion character is a mod or not. And I looked it up. The Barbarian was an unfinished character that was in the game, so that's why his model is in the game. You'd normally have to hack to get it, but they finished the character in this mod, so he's in the game, but he's only playable through hacking. So I gotta put that on screen. Oop. I want the text tool. Thank you. And that's a bit long. Let's try this. That's about right. So we'll put that in. 5 seconds is probably fine for this. So, same thing as before. Bring it off screen, stopwatch. Let's try 6. 6 will bring us to 300. Wait, 2. Bring up to 250. Yeah, that's about right. And we'll ease out and rewatch it. I'll have it on screen if I'm right or... Yeah, that looks about right. And then do it again. I believe it was 3. Oops, that's the wrong number. And then 2. And then until end. Classes in this game. Okay, that looks nice. So we don't have an edit for a long time. Now's the Hey You Missed Pal sound clip. Okay, so we got the Hey You Missed Pal clip here. Let's drag that in right down there. Now we'll have to see the volume. Good. Okay, wait. All right. We'll have it start right here, because it starts with the noise of the ring missing and binging off the side of the carnival game. Let's try this. So, let's make that bigger. So, this is kind of one of those games.
Hey, you
Good
missed,
trap,
pal.
buddy. Ah, damn. clip goes a little long.
Hey, you
Good
missed,
trap,
pal.
buddy. Your dart completely missed. You know what? I still think that kind of works. It's a little rough around the edges, but I'm happy with it. It's an excuse to shove in a hey, a missed, pal. We'll put that on the music just because it's under kind of a sound category. Same with the text. We can put that under the text category. So I'm happy with that. Next, the other sound effect. I looked around online for the perfect version if I could. This is the best one I could find. They called it a bounce sound effect. I wouldn't call it that. But we need to, right like there. Let's try this. Ah! God! I gotta rewatch that. Yes, or rather that. One more time. Yes, or rather that. God, that was... God, I'm happy with that. Oh, by the way, I just realized it's so small you might not even see it, but... The thing that missed, if you zoom in really far on this, or just go watch the actual Diablo video when it comes out, I'm dodging a dart here. It goes like right by my head. It looks just like the floor though. In the YouTube video, with the YouTube compression being as awful it is, it might be invisible. But, God, it was funny. All right, so we got that. One more time. Rather depth. Ah! God, I'm happy I added that. Fast forward, I already did those. Now we have text here. It's just backwards. I hate that, kid. Let's animate that text. We're almost done this, actually. Almost done the editing, and then it's on to making the thumbnail, and it's done. So, bring that back down there. Text. Bring it off screen, stopwatch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 300. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 260, which is what I normally do now that nothing's in the way. And then I'll wait until it's about here is probably good to finish this one. There we go. And let's just make sure that all of these are ease out. And watch it again. That's giving me a headache listening to that, kid. Okay. So that's all we need the effect controls for. Let's go to our outro now. So I've got 2 clips I want to bring in here. One, I want my first look video of Death Road to Canada. I'll have that on the left, and on the right, I'm going to have my playthrough I've been doing, my co-op playthrough of Resident Evil 5. That's been pretty funny. So I'll promote those 2. So time to make use some more presets I made. These ones I actually made myself instead of finding online. So we're just going to drag some things in. And actually, you know what? Drag that down 1. And then drag this in. And what we're doing is removing the audio from them. And I have outro left and outro right. That is literally just size reforming it so that they fit within the boxes. I just have little presets made for them to speed things up. The channel and everything, like if you... Okay, so now I want to find good action-packed points in these videos to skip to. So that, okay, it looks like there's some action going on here in Death Road to Canada. So we'll bring that up. And where's some action in this Resident Evil 5 clip? Ooh, there's me setting up for an explosion there. So we'll take that one. That one's probably going to be good. Okay, let's see how this looks. We will be able to take out that... And we also want a crossfade in here so it doesn't look horrible like this. That room. So, yeah, that looks terrible. So we're going to dissolve that. That room. So, if this is your first time watching the channel and everything, like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more of me. If you want to see more of this series, I'll have a link to a playlist in the description. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see more of this series. I want to know if you guys want me to continue it or if it's just not something you're particularly interested in. And thank you all for watching, and until next time, have a nice day. And then we go into the music, we give them some time to click it if they feel like clicking it. The gameplay is still good enough to watch. And then we fade out. So let's cut the clips there and fade them out as well. And that is a finished video right there. I don't think there's anything else I need to do with this. So I'm going to hold down Control and hit M. And here are my export settings. Preset, it's H.264, which is always recommended on YouTube and any online thing. Preset is for YouTube. I created it myself. I'm going to show you the video and audio tabs. Is all that really matters. So if you want to copy this down at home, you can use them if you'd like to. And video here is what I have. I put it at very high quality. With target bitrate, I'll change that to lower if the game doesn't require as much. I get the feeling this game probably requires 3 or less, maybe even 1. Sometimes I'll use Handbrake to check by basically just rendering out in Handbrake on a variable bitrate with a high quality. And I'll see how that comes out looking and see what the bitrate comes out as by checking the properties of the output video. Handbrake is a free program, by the way. But for this, I'll check later. Basically, all I would do now is let's just say for the sake of this video right now, that is 3. I hit Q. This will open up Adobe Media Encoder. Any second now, it's just booting in the background at the moment. Sometimes it takes a second. Okay, there we go. And then any second now, this appears. Here we go. And I just hit play, and I can pause it at any time, and that will render out the video. The rendered video will just be the video ready to upload. So there's only one step left, and that is for me to go and edit a thumbnail. So let's go do a thumbnail together. All right, so you might be noticing that here in Photoshop, this doesn't look like Diablo. That's because I created this template based off Here They Call Me on YouTube, a friend of mine, based off his thumbnails, because his were really good, and he gave me permission. And basically, I threw together this template that I use on all my videos. I just change it up for each individual game. So first thing I do is I search Diablo logo, and I look for transparent backgrounds on Google, so I can bring in this. This is the Diablo text with a transparent background. I could make my own transparent background one, but it's a pain, so if I don't have to, I don't. Which is why it's really important for indie game developers to release press packages with the art assets for YouTubers to use. A lot of them do. It's a good idea. In fact, a lot of AAA parties do it as well, because they know that YouTubers find that shit incredibly useful for making the thumbnails, which is free promotion. So, we have the Diablo logo in now. Let's bring in the screenshots. So we're gonna select that so that they go in the correct layer. Enter, enter, get rid of the Pokemon one. So we're gonna just see which one's better. And also, solid bar background, let's right click then go to our blending options, change our gradient color. I'm thinking maybe black. Go black. Black into the white with the fiery background is kind of cool, but I'm also thinking of maybe... Didn't mean to move that a little bit. Oh, God. Blending options. Let's just try that again. Blending options on Photoshop can be a little bit of a mess from time to time. So I don't think I want that crimson of a red. Ooh, that looks good, doesn't it? Looks a little bit Halloween-y. Maybe if I make it a little bit more reddish. That's also pretty... Oh, that is perfect right there. I am beyond happy with that. All right, Control S, save that. That's a nice bar. Okay. So these screenshots, we obviously don't want it looking like this, especially considering like this is going to be so small when you watch it on your browser and stuff. You got to really zoom in these things, which does hurt the quality, but it's Diablo 1. Okay, that looks okay. What does the other one look like? Can we make that one more interesting? I think this one looks more interesting. Yeah, let's use this one. And you'll notice, normally in the game it looks like this. I actually have a brightness and contrast filter on that makes it look like this. I up the brightness and lower the contrast, so everything's kind of evenly lit and it's brighter so it's easier to see what's going on YouTube. I turn it off on really bright games, like I usually turn that off on Pokemon or Knights of Pen and Paper. But most games are dark enough that you need to brighten it up just a little bit for that YouTube thumbnail so that people can really see what's going on in the thumbnail. Even then, I'm thinking I might want to zoom in a little bit more on this, which is difficult. Oop. Wanna link that again. Go. That's good. A little bit more. Okay. I think I'm happy with that, so I'm gonna Control Shift S. Gonna name it 1. Just make it a JPEG. No point doing a PNG with these, just because there's no transparent background. So there we go. That is a saved thumbnail, and that's actually it for this entire video, I guess. Oh my god, that is the entire process from start to finish of me recording a Let's Play video. And think about it. I do at least one of these a day and have been doing at least one video a day for 5 years and 8 months at the time of making this video. And in fact, this entire video, start to finish, including all that editing and all that stuff, and editing this video, which will be even longer than editing the video you just watched me edit, I'm doing all of this, including the recording of the Diablo footage, the day before this video goes live. Because this is when I got time. When you're a YouTuber, you genuinely do actually have to work over 40 hours a week. Sometimes you're working last minute, and you just need to buckle down and get work done. So don't let anyone tell you that being a YouTuber is easy. Especially being a small YouTuber like me, who barely makes a living. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope to see you more on this channel and everything. Subscribe if you are interested, like if you are interested. I will have a link in the playlist section, in the description, to the playlist, I'm illiterate, of the How I Do What I Do series. I think the next one I'm probably gonna do is live streams, but let me know in the comment section what you want me to do on this series, because I actually can't think of many things. So let me know what your suggestions are. I read every comment I get. On the left, there'll be a link to one video you could watch, and on the right, there's a link to another video. I haven't figured that out yet. Future me in editing at like 2 in the morning is gonna figure that one out for you. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.